I'm sorry, when you win the most games in team history, house money is not something you can say anymore. It's not a true thing.
Even going up against a team that spends $330 million in a year, and you're spending $130.
Royals won Royals won the World Series, spending very little money.
But that doesn't mean they can't be done. But I think if they lost that series, they're thinking it was house money. Like, hey, that was a good run for a team that's lowly.
If the Brewers are actually thinking that, they're going to lose to the Dodgers. 844-770-3776. That's Carl's Talk text line. List is more. Our side and limited poll question: are the Brewers playing with house money?
This series?
No.
Just in general for this postseason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you tell me when house money runs out then.
Next season. Potentially.
Why next season?
Well, then there's going to be higher expectations. Say you make the World Series and you lose, you're not going to have this expectation like, oh, we're the lowly Brewers. Or like, oh, this team has been put together. We trust Matt Arnold, and we love Pat Murphy, and he can rally a team to play well and get to the postseason again. Like right now, if you'd asked me in April after the first series,
I don't care about that.
I know, but like that's what I'm saying is you can move the goalposts as the season goes along, but you still have to have a perspective of the whole thing. Like the whole.
What perspective? They won the most 14 games in a row. They won 97 games. They were the first team to clinch. They're the number one seed. The perspective is they're supposed to go to the World Series.
The perspective is they exceeded expectations so far.
The expectations that were set at the beginning of the year. As of like June, the expectations were the Brewers to make the playoffs, and now they're going. The expectation as of like mid-July was the Brewers to win the division and go to the World Series. All I heard, July, August, and September, we're the best team in baseball. What in God's name?
Well, that's just statistically factual.
Okay, then that raises your expectations, Matt. If you start as a gold medal team, and then you don't win the gold medal, that's disappointing. But by the time you reach the gold medal standard, people would have been disappointed if you didn't get there. It's not house money anymore. It's getting there. Like because you don't have another guaranteed chance. In fact, a team like the Brewers, it's less than house money because they can't buy their way back every year. This is your chance. These are few and far between. To be the team with a very low payroll and be the number one seed and to have home field and to have the greatest regular season in your history, to then try to be like, well, it's all just house money. No, the expectations are on you. If you're the best team in baseball, go to the damn World Series. That's not house money.
So I do agree with you. I don't think that they're playing with house money at this point in time. Like, I think they need to beat the Cubs. I think you even said it, Jim, that if they lose to the Cubs, it is an abject disaster of a season for them. Like, that is disgusting if they lose to the Cubs because they're so much better, right? So I don't think that they're playing with house money. However, speaking as an outsider, I don't think that expectation, maybe now that people can see how well they're handling the Cubs and how they could potentially sweep them and go into the Dodgers, a Dodgers team that they beat multiple times this year.
Like, double sweep.
Okay, there you go. So they have the potential to do that again. But, like, I don't know if your expectations are necessarily a World Series just because you've seen how this team has fallen flat so many times that, like, you're preparing to get your heart broken. So I feel like for fans, you're not necessarily expecting that because you've seen what they've done in the past.
Doesn't that I feel like that sort of fandom cuts off a little bit of the pure joy at the top. If you're going in with it, you're hedging your bet before it starts.
But I always thought that about the Packers too. That I'm like, okay, they could get to an NFC Championship, but I can't really see them going to the Super Bowl because they don't do it.
So the Packers, they get Micah Parsons. So this year's an abject failure if they don't make the NFC Championship game, right? In the inverse, if expectations were high, right?
You're probably right on that.
But a whole season has to happen, and if Jordan Love gets hurt, or Micah Parsons gets hurt, or something weird happens, you're going to adjust the expectations down, correct? Yes. So you would do the inverse and jack them up when you are playing like the best team in baseball, which the Brewers are. The Brewers are the best team in baseball. They won the most amount of games in team history. They have home field advantage. If they're the best damn team in baseball, then the expectation is to be the best damn team in baseball and go to the World Series.
I guess to me, house money is kind of like, depends how you feel.
It's you trying to hedge your bets.
Out. No, like if they go to the NLCS, which we're all banking on, and like Ryan said, they lose to the Dodgers, are you going to think that this season was a letdown, or are you going to be like, that was a pretty darn good run, I'm happy with it? If you're the inverse, if you're the second one, then it is house money.
But
if you're going to be let down by losing the NLCS, then it's not house money. It just kind of depends on how you feel after it finishes.
If you're in the playoffs and you're the number one seed, you're not playing with house money. That is my stance on it. If you are the number one seed in baseball in the playoffs, it's no longer house money.
But don't you think that's
expectations?
Isn't that also fan expectations versus team and player expectations? Because the way
there's no way players are like, we're just happy to be here.
No, I'm sure that they're there and they're planning and hoping and expecting to win themselves. But I think what Caleb Durbin and I believe Jeff Levering mentioned also
Isaac Collins,
like those are two guys who weren't even supposed to be in the major leagues at this point. Like their entire career is on house money right now. Like the way that the Brewers got here and what they're doing as a team, the way they're playing as free as they are, is their mentality of playing with house money. And that's what makes them a good team. That's what's made them the best team in baseball.
That's a different thing. And you can lie to yourself all the time. And Michael Jordan is famous for it. He'll find the smallest little thing. He'll find the smallest little thing and make it a giant sore that will irritate the hell out of him until he went and won a title. That's how he had to motivate. If the Brewers need to tell themselves, hey, this is all house money, we're lucky to be here, for them to have the vibes that they need to succeed, that's different.
I think that's exactly what he was saying, though.
But at the same time, it doesn't make it true.
Fair.
There's no house money when you're the number one seed.
I think
you won 97 games this year, more than anyone else. You won 14 games. You won the most games in your team's history. You are not the Yankees. You are not the Red Sox. You can't buy your way back here every time. And I'm wondering now, does that pressure hit them when they face the Dodgers? And they realize that these are finite. They're finite for every team, let alone the Milwaukee Brewers who don't and cannot or will not pay people. So that pressure can hit them square in the mouth against the Dodgers. So I hope they also are saying house money, well aware that all these players might never see this opportunity again. And that goes for every team.
I think there are players on the team like Christian Yelich, like William Contreras, guys who have been there before. Trevor McGill, I mean, he wasn't actually on the Brewers playoff team or their NLCS team in 2018. But Brandon Woodruff, who's not going to be playing in this game, like he understands it more than anyone. You don't always get to come back. You're not always going to be healthy to come back here enough. So, I mean, I think there are guys on the team who have that realization, have that awareness about them. But the guys who are hitting home runs, the Andrew Vaughns of the world, who, once again, shouldn't even be in the major leagues at this point, but he's playing the way he is. Jackson Chourio is 21, and he doesn't know any better, and he should keep playing that way. Like, that's how this team has to continue to operate for them to win. Like, they shouldn't want to take that away.
So you don't trust them if they face the Dodgers and it's 2-2?
It's not that
you're just saying that like they have to operate free and easy, and if the pressure gets on them, you're assuming they're going to collapse then?
No, I think that as a player and as a professional athlete, Matt, I'm sure could talk to this as well, like, you need to be playing without the encumbrance of pressure and thoughts of what's coming next. You only can live in the moment. Like, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to channel that.
They're trying to channel it, but it doesn't make it true.
I will say, we got to the gold medal game, and my thought process is no matter what happens, we could get absolutely shut out. I'm still going to get an Olympic medal.
Yeah, but they don't get anything.
I was going to say they don't get anything. Just the glory of being the...
If they win the NL, they get a pennant.
If they get to the World Series, then they're 100% on house money.
Yes. Oh, so for you, it's house money just to get to the World Series, not to win it.
I will say, I have also experience of making that, not the World Series, the championship game, the NLCS of curling, which is the semifinals at the Olympics, not going well, and then playing that bronze game. And I tell you, I was way more wound up knowing that if I lose this game, there is no medal.
Right.
If you win this game, you're a two-time medalist. Mm-hmm. So there was definitely more pressure on me in that bronze medal game than I felt in the gold medal game because I was playing with house money. I was guaranteed a medal. And you can tell just from the opening intros when they panned across Team USA and then panned across Team Sweden, we were having fun. We were smiling, bouncing around. Team Sweden was didn't even see the camera. They were looking right through it. They were nervous because they were the best team in the world. They were expected to win. All the expectation was on them. We were huge underdogs. So that, you might need that mentality. You might not believe it yourself, but you want to think it and try and fake it till you make it. And hopefully if that's the Brewers mentality, I love it because playing free is definitely going to help you play successfully in the big pressure moments.
Unless you run into a team that's been there and done that a million times, they're going to be locked in like the Dodgers. This is Jim Matt Mott, Brewers Light.